Governor Steve Sisolak holds a press conference this afternoon. Part of his focus was to update Nevada's rollout of the COVID-19 vaccine. News 3's Gerard Romalo joins us live from the newsroom. And Gerard, the governor says so far the effort has gone exceptionally well.
Well, that's right, Marie. He even said that Nevada has received praise from the CDC for how well it's going. They began vaccinating back on December 21st, and as of yesterday, 25,636 vaccines had already been administered. These were to the Tier 1 group, which includes frontline hospital workers and some long-term care patients. He says those recipients are on track to receive their second dose now. And beginning next week, he says, they will begin administering to the Tier 2 group category.
And vaccination in assisted living facilities will start next week. As you know, these facilities are home to some of Nevada's most vulnerable populations. And this is a huge step to make sure they're protected.
Yeah, also included in that Tier 2 category are citizens 75 and older, as well as some frontline essential workers, people like paramedics who come into close contact with positive patients basically on a daily basis. The governor added each week the state will be receiving a new allocation of doses from the federal government. They are on pace to administer those doses just as quickly as they receive them.
Yeah, Jim. Well, unfortunately, it's no secret that 2020 has been a very hard year for restaurants. In fact, the National Restaurant Association says around 1 in 6, which is roughly 100,000 restaurants, have shut their doors this year. But many local restaurants say this New Year's Eve, they're going to try to do what they can to get as much profit over the last few hours of 2020.
We all celebrated the Roaring 20, and it did just that, it roared. So we all have to be careful of what we ask for.
Owner Lola Picorni never imagined while throwing a Roaring 20s theme at her Louisiana restaurant spot Lola's what 2020 would have in store. A devastating pandemic and a tough year for business. But despite restrictions preventing her from making her typical holiday profit, nothing could postpone her annual dinner.
I was open till midnight last year, and I'll remain open till midnight every New Year's Eve. As long as our guests want to come and want to celebrate with us and ring in something that we're all looking forward to, I'm in.
So we make it a big event, from a DJ to party favors. We start dancing and whatnot.
And at Pinch's Tacos, owner Javier Anaya says New Year's Eve business is typically as sizzling as his asada fries.
Oh my God, I mean, that's when you get to charge a little more. You know, that's when you bring out the high-end tequilas and people won't hesitate to spend $35 on a shot of tequila. And for my employees, you know, people are a lot more generous during New Year's Eve, so it's going to affect their pockets as well.
But this year, having to operate at 25%, he says his grand fiesta won't be profitable and couldn't really meet social distancing standards. Instead, the kitchen will be open until midnight, serving food and drinks.
Whole cream, half and half.
Back at Lola's, Picorni is in the kitchen cooking up a fun time. The evening and menu's theme, the world is your oyster. It's up to you to find your pearl. Fitting, she says, for a year full of hardship that she hopes will give way to something beautiful in the new year.
2021, I look forward to reopening to 100%. Just looking forward to a brighter, better new year.
Well, this year cannot go by without the memories of those who lost their lives to COVID-19. To honor the victims, we asked you to submit photos of loved ones. We also went through our archives to recall the hard-fought battle that was insurmountable for an iconic magician, a reformed mobster, medical professionals, and one of Metro's bravest lieutenants. The work to remember all 3,125 Nevadans continues. And sadly, this list may grow longer into the new year, but for now, here are the names of those taken by the pandemic.
When people around the world picture Vegas, a big part of what they're picturing is what Siegfried and Roy established here.
He was a very loving and vibrant man, and family was very important to him.
He gave himself, all of himself, to medicine.
Every single time you'd show up at work and he was there, you know it was going to be a good shift, was always happy and telling great jokes.
loved the community, he loved helping, and he loved patient care. He loved being a frontline worker.
My father was a great man who touched so many lives in so many ways. I think I speak for many people when I say that I'm a better person for knowing him, and I feel so blessed and honored to call him Dad.